First thing is, it's hard when we're in the moment to remember that biting for puppies is normal behavior. As we talked about earlier, this is normal behavior because they use their mouth to learn and explore their environment by putting things in their mouth and using their mouth. So if you think about when a dog needs to itch, sometimes they'll use their paw and itch, other times they'll use their mouth and itch, right? We don't do that as humans. So they use their mouth for a lot of natural tendencies. And so that's how they learn to do things, is by putting things in their mouth and exploring things with their mouth. So we want to try to, like we talked about on the phone, not get upset about this and understand that this is puppy behavior. But we do get tired of having the marks all over our hand, and it's constant, especially the phase that you're in with a young puppy. So we want to try to not get overly emotional in the moment about it. So right now with a young puppy, they don't usually have great bite inhibition, which means they're biting down fairly hard when they do bite down. If you think about where the dogs come from, their mamas and their litter mates, they're used to biting each other. So they're used to biting fur covered skin, right? We don't have that. And so we're feeling it a lot more than other dogs are. I don't know if you've ever heard if two dogs are playing and they're mouthing each other, horse playing, and you all of a sudden hear a yip out of one of the dogs, Yep. The dog that is being bitten is letting the other dog know that was too much, that was too hard. So what we're hoping for is that the dog that was doing the biting realizes, oh, I need to back off a little bit. That was too much. And that's how they start learning their bite inhibition, through socialization with other dogs. And they start learning that should transfer over to like human, that human biting. So if he bites you or bites down on your hand too hard, you could try a yip. And if he backs off right away, like, oh, what was that high pitched noise? Then you can stop at that good point right there, that he realizes like, oh, okay, that was too much. And she's not gonna continue to have, interaction with me if he keeps coming back for more. You can thank him, like, thank you, gentle, easy, good boy, to let him know that was a little too much. So he will continue to learn that bite inhibition as he plays with other dogs, as he matures. So some of it is a time thing. A lot of people with young puppies are like, when is this going to be over? And I mentioned earlier, a little after 4 months, those teeth start falling out. At least the sharp razor teeth are out at that point, but we still want the bite inhibition to be more gentle. Okay. So another way that you can teach that is by putting like some peanut butter on your hand. If he likes peanut butter, or he's had peanut butter before, or coconut oil, or something that you can rub onto your hand. And as he's licking your hand, you can just teach him that word of easy or gentle or soft or whatever, so that he starts learning that good things happen with his tongue and not with his teeth. Okay. And that kind of goes into like how we redirect a little bit, but I like to share that because that's a way to teach the word of easy or gentle or whatever word you want to use. And maybe just do that periodically so that he can lick off of it and learn the word, so that down the road, if you don't have something on your hand, he's kind of being mouthy, you say gentle, and he's like, oh, that means I use my tongue, not my teeth. Right. So he starts to have that kind of shaped behavior. So if you have to do that high pitched yip, where he's biting a little too hard, you can try to disconnect from play and see if he starts associating that was a little too much. Good things don't happen when I bite, right? If he's going back for more, start paying attention to, like, sometimes people will disconnect and then the dog comes from behind and they start jumping at your clothes, or they're mouthing at your hand or biting your ankle or whatever. Start paying attention to what is the need there. Is it that he wants the attention? Is it that he's overtired and he hasn't had enough rest time and maybe he needs to go have some chill time? Is he bored? What is it? What do you think that his needs are at that moment? I had mentioned to you, I have a dog here, and earlier it was that mouthiness. And I was like, you know what? No, it's time for quiet time. Like I need, because I'm getting frustrated. And when we get frustrated as the handler, then the dog starts to feed off of that. And so we need to disconnect. And I was like, you've been up and going for 2 hours solid. You've had solid playtime. It's time for you to go have rest time. So it's crate time now. So you put them in their crate when you're unemotional. It's not punishment, right? And so you might need to utilize the crate during the day for some of that, where you're like, you've played, you've eaten, you've pottied. There's nothing else you could possibly be telling me. The redirection isn't working. Maybe it's downtime for you. It's forced settle time, because puppies have a really hard time settling on their own. They have a hard time, unless they're like flat out tired and there's absolutely no distraction. They may, he may go lay down. But a lot of times it's, nope, I'm just going to keep annoying because I don't know what to do with myself. And we have to force that settle time, which would be crate time or back tie, which we could talk more about that as well.